Welcome to Represents. Today's special guest is artist McGyver. McGyver is a bilingual MC from the Netherlands who teamed up with legendary hip-hop group Onyx, signed to their label 100 Mad. With hard work, he has built a solid reputation around the globe as a lyrical force to be reckoned with. In 2017, he finished fifth place at the World Freestyle Championship in Prague. He's been perfecting his style for years. He put out a LP named Madmatic in 2019, Carpe Oberon in the following year, and now in 2022 we have Camillionizm. Not only can you hear the passion when he rhymes, but he does it over beats from legendary producers such as Pete Rock, Fredro Starr, Large Professor, and Craig G, Fibuk Braslevich, just to name a few. Congratulations on the new LP, and welcome to the show, my guy.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Thank you. So, hip-hop is global. The culture has spread to every corner of Earth. You can hear it. You can hear it when people, the way people talk, the way people dress, advertising and music and every art, dance. What Black Americans were able to do is simply, it's amazing. As the movie Brown Sugar says, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Yeah. The $1 million question. I think I was always music was always around me. Like as a kid, obviously my dad was a bass player. My stepdad was heavily into reggae, but also like the illegal rave scene that was emerging. Mm-hmm. My stepdad used to go there. So I was always around samplers, turntables, live music. Music was just everywhere, right? And then by the time I was about 12, 13, mm-hmm. Hip-hop wasn't really around me, but the song Freestyler from Bumfunk MCs had topped the charts. And it's basically like this, jungle kind of from a hip hop group from Sweden, if I'm correct, or Norway. And they had this like hit, but it wasn't really rap. But the whole music video, it represented all the culture. You had b-boys in it, some graffiti, streetwear, obviously rap, and freestyler rocking from the top of my dome. The whole setting was super hip hop for a song that was super corny, really, and that just blew my mind. Like the whole hip hop culture thing, it just like instantly absorbed me, and that was it. So it wasn't really hip hop until a top 40 hit just dragged me into it. And then I started checking everything out, and by the time I went to Canada for the second time back to visit my fam, I was at my brother's, Darcy, and he'd been rapping for a good 4 or 5 years or so, recording at home. And that just instantly put the bullet in my heart, bang. That's what I got to do. That's what it is. And I took that home and just started penning, writing, and took it from there.
Amazing. Shout out to Darcy. He did my intro. He did my intro beat for the channel. So it's amazing. There's a lot of talent in the family.
Yes.
So, I'm 42 years old. Hip hop has been, has a huge presence in my life. I was introduced to it when I was 12 in 92. Now, I was really influenced, especially by the 90s hip hop. And when I listen to your music, it gives me that nostalgic vibe. I feel like I'm back in an era, the golden era for me. Now, is this intentional? Is this what you're going after? Is this what, touches you? Or, I'm way off base right now?
Yeah, in a sense, yes. I think, being from that era as a late 80s baby, early 90s child, and, in the early 2000s, I was already, just reminiscing back to that era where I grew up as a child, not even being aware of hip hop, but as a child, right? And all the 90s fashion, the movies, everything about the 90s. It resonates with you because you were brought up in that era. Right, as a kid. So by the time I was, into music and digging deeper, from the gangster rap to the Gang Stars to the Tribe Called Quests and so forth, and then funk and jazz, and get in touch with friends who were heavy into crate digging, into vinyl collecting, and only the obscure stuff. and their hip hop knowledge way beyond and above, right? That just gave me so much more knowledge that the more 90s style music I just heard and videos that I saw come across, like the harder, my heart kept beating. So it's just a natural thing, really. It's not even like I have an obsession with it. It's not like I'm always digging through, YouTube or any archive trying to find everything. I don't have the time for it, but whenever you play a 90s beat, even like somebody from this era who makes it, creates it, and it's like it has this authentic sound, I'm instantly hooked. I don't know what it is. It's just, me being a kid from that era.
Yeah, the vibe is different. You definitely feel the energy in the music. Now you have 90s hip hop legends like Chuck D, DJ Premier. They're talking about you. They're playing your music. Did you always believe you would get to this point right now?
Hey man, I'm not Kanye. It's not like I've always been. I told y'all.
That's not the way, Sway.
No, but I think I'm not sure. Like I always, back when I was a kid, I was skateboarding a lot, right? And I did the crazy thing, the most unthinkable things. I always tried to do it. As soon as I see a gap or an opening, I'm like, let's see how far we can take it. Let's just do it. Let's just try it. Let's give it a go. So I'm always that leap of faith kind of guy. Whenever I see an option, like even if it's slightest, I'll at least try. So it took some time to build, a network and a discography and a skill set and the credentials to at least open up a conversation. So by the time I was, a little further in my career, so to speak, yes, I saw the options and then I knew it was possible. But back when I started, hell no. Hell no. Never imagined it. Of course not. Of course not. Always dreamed about it, but,
Yes.
Yeah.
So you spoke about time a little bit. What does it mean, to be a bilingual MC? I mean, to do it to rap in one language is already impressive. How long did it take you to master this art of doing it in two languages, and being good at it in two languages is pretty amazing. Tell me about the process, and it's very unusual for rappers to have that type of skill.
Yeah, I think about 3 to 4 years, but it was born out of necessity. So I started out in Dutch. I started English actually when I was like a very early teenager, very young. But that didn't really quite, go well. My brain was wired to, strictly Dutch. The way I spoke, the way I talked, the way I wrote, it was all Dutch, all day, every day. So the English, it wasn't mind blowing, right? But I tried. Like I wrote whole verses and everything, but they weren't really cool. And I've been doing the Dutch thing for a long time. And when I entered the end of the week World Championship, I was doing it in Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the impact that I had in Dutch. So I was like, damn, what if I would, combine those two things? Because as soon as I started freestyling in English, like just spontaneously, amidst of like a Dutch freestyle, I would do a few English words and everything. Everybody was like, yo, what the hell was that? So I took that home. And by it was 2018, I wanted to quit rapping, actually. And I was like, you know what? No, I want to embrace my Canadian heritage for one more, for once, and incorporate it like seriously into the music. And instead of playing around with it, with a few lines here and there, first, I just like started writing the way I think, like back to back. So it's like English, Dutch. Whenever it pops up or whenever I feel suitable using a certain word or language, I make sure that the Rubik's Cube like fits. And it doesn't matter from which side you look at it. If you understand both languages, it's like you're listening to a third language because it interconnects. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like English or Dutch, like they're interwoven. So
I like that.
and it blew my mind. So I was like, yo, I need to really dig it out, and that took me like 3 years to where I am right now. Now it comes natural, but it took some time to really construct that methodology.
Amazing. So when you listen to a beat, you say, okay, this beat, no, I have to rock this one in Dutch, or this one. How does that work? You know, is that they just have to call you? You say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna bang this one out in English.
No, not at all. Because I'm so comfortable right now at using whatever I have at hand. I just ask if it's a collaboration. I ask the artist that I'm working with, what do you prefer? If it's something you prefer, then I'm choosing one way or the other. It's never that I strictly do English first. Not really. But it's just whatever I feel comfortable with. And
That's
I think
amazing.
that's go.
Amazing. So tell me, McGyver, what do you listen to right now? You know, it's a whole range.
Oh man.
What artists, you know, call you on a weekend chilling? You know, when you're riding in your car, what do you listen to besides, you know, your own music? But you know, what's
Well,
bumping your ride?
the process of building an album, I'm really not listening to anything other
Mm-hmm.
than completely different genre or strictly my own tune because I'm a perfectionist, so I want to get it right, and I can't let it go until I think it's right. So yeah, that's really boring to be around. But now that the album's out, I got a little bit more, headspace. I don't know. I tend to listen to two things mainly. It's either easy listening type of um, jazz, like chill, cool jazz, or lo-fi beats, like Dilla type beats, like
Okay.
like that, like instrumental hip hop.
Okay.
That or dubstep, like heavy, aggressive dubstep. I really like that. Drum and bass, and just rap.
All right. All right.
Mainly,
So listen, let's talk about the album. What was the basically the inspiration for this album?
the two ones that came before that
Mm-hmm.
trilogy. So it that um it was some sort of inspiration. I'm joking around, but I think I just wanted to showcase more versatile side of me, right? So in different beats, but there's still specific audience. It's not like I'm going to a sound as Drake-ish or The Weeknd, or it's not like it's far, far too different from one another. It's all like hip hop minded, but it's like a time capsule from 1988 to 2022. So you got all kinds of styles in there. So I just wanted to showcase more, and also do more standalone tracks because the two albums that came before this one, that's why I'm constantly peeking around. I got the CD right here.
Yes, sir.
The World Is Yours,
Mm-hmm.
and there were more like thematically linking towards Illmatic from Nas, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be corny if I'm gonna do that a third time, so it's out of the question. I'm not even gonna think about it. But I wanted to do just a different touch and heavier tunes, like more serious, more bang, dope collaborations, things that you wouldn't really think you would see happening, and then boom, you get the album and it's like it's got all of it. So the inspiration was to just raise the bar. Period.
You definitely did that. So speaking about those collaborations, how do those come about? You know, I mean the Pete Rocks and all that. That's those are heavyweights. How did they reach out to you? They see you, you know, in action. How did that come about?
I usually reach out to them first, mainly. But I've done so many collaborations. Like it started out with K-Def. Shout out K-Def, of course, with song Question, and that opened up some doors. So Large Pro, Buck Wild. Shout out Buck Wild. And then after two albums of doing that, you built up some sort of catalog, right? You
Mm-hmm.
get that from Chuck D. You get that airplay from DJ Premier,
Mm-hmm.
which still to this day blows my mind because sometimes you plug it, sometimes you have a promoter. I didn't have a promoter back then. Right now, I do have one. So yeah, it ended up on DJ Premier's turntables without me plugging anything because I don't know where to find them. So I was like, "Yo, this was insane for me." Like, I was vibing for like a week. So that was, that's fire. But it gives you also that, let's say, weight. to at least open up a door, or whenever you speak to someone, be it online or backstage, like you can at least pitch your ideas and say, look, I've worked with this and this guy, I know what I'm doing, at least I think I know what I'm doing, and would you like to work with me? And they all said yes. Fun fact, rest in peace to the god, MF Doom. I also almost collaboration with him, but that didn't work out in time. So,
man.
Sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes. But fortunately, Pete Rock was open to work as well, and we caught the track, and it was a good process, because up until that point, I knew what I was doing, but he works with his own engineer, and when it comes to that point, I'm not an engineer. Like, I know how to mix, I know how to make myself sound proper enough, but I wouldn't call myself an engineer. Like his, shout out to Jamie. He engineered all the things we know from Pete Rock, like up until the House of Pain remix by Pete Rock. He'd done everything. Right? So I'm like, okay, I'm sending my vocals to him. I hope they slightly sound okay. Like, I'm not sure. And everything was green light. It was like, yo, thanks. The way he delivered it was perfect to work with. Excellent job. So I'm like, yo, all right, let's do this. We're doing it. So it was also a good affirmation for me to see that I was at least on the right track, and I'm grateful for that.
Amazing.
Nobody gives you that. Nobody tells you that you're doing the right thing, like, backstage, right? It's always front stage, everybody, being cheerful. But in the back end, you never know if you're figuring it out, if you're on the right track, right? You never really know. So that for me was like on my third album of doing this, like a good tap on the shoulder, like, okay, cool, that was cool. So yeah.
Well, sir, you're definitely on the right track. It's got everyone's attention. We wish you continued success. What's next for you? Any tour dates? Any Canadian tour dates? What can we expect from you?
Hope so. I'm not really sure. The future's still looking a bit empty.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of tour dates. We're building a lot of projects still being built. Might be a show happening in Switzerland. So that's being talked about right now. And when the Onyx crew comes to Holland, I should be opening up for them as well 1 or 2 times.
Amazing.
So, but I never know it's a go until it's posted online, like confirmed. So, I know how things go, right? So
of course,
I don't know about nothing. Like until it's out there, then we good. But yeah, of course, there's always a few shows left and right that are in the books. But like I said, right now, as we speak, not so much. So I got time.
Listen, thank you. Go get that album, Camillionism. Support my guy, McGyver. He's doing great things. Go get the album. Sounds beautiful.
Here you go.
All right. Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, likewise.
All right.
All right. Take care. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you.